What's up guys, welcome back to another video, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the isinstance method in Python. So let's get started. What does the isinstance method do? Well, this method checks to see if an object is part of a class or is an instance of a class. And basically what an instance of a class means is, let's say you have the int class. 2 is an instance of the int class. And if I create a variable, I'll call this num, and I set that to 2, well, num is an instance of the int class. And that's how it works. So now, let's talk about the syntax. So the syntax for the isinstance method is instance, object, and class. And also, let's see what VS Code has to say about the isinstance method. Isinstance, and it says isinstance, object, and type. Returns whether an object is an instance of a class or of a subclass. And VS Code even gives us an example. A tuple as in isinstance x, a, b, and on may be given as the target to check against. This is equivalent to isinstance x, comma a, or isinstance x, comma b. Alright, so now let's see some examples. So I'll just create a list. So I'll call this list nums, and I will set that equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, so here I have a list called nums, and it's filled with integers. So now I'm gonna do isinstance nums and list. And if you're using VS Code, whenever you're using the name of a class, it should be in green. So just make sure it's green, and then you'll be good. But this is just for VS Code. Other IDEs and whatever else you're programming on, they might have different setups for different things. Alright, so let's try running this. And we don't get any output. Why is this? Well, that's because we did not print this. Isinstance returns if nums is an instance of list. Return doesn't get printed to the screen. Return either gets stored in a variable, or return can be printed, so you can print the entire thing and then it will go to the screen. It won't just print like this. So now we have to do print and add our other parentheses there. So now it's print is instance, nums, and list. Let me run this, and we get true. So you might be wondering why this isn't false, because these are numbers. Well, you see, the thing is, we're comparing the entire list with the list class. If we want to use the isinstance on the items inside our list, we can just use indexing. So let's say I'll just put in a random index like 3, and now let's try running this, and we get false because the numbers inside this are not lists. And here is where this becomes really powerful. Because let's say you're getting some output or receiving something, and you can use that in an if statement or a while loop. So I'll give an example of us using this inside an if statement. So first, let me remove the print statement, and I will remove this index. So now it's looking to see if the whole list is an instance of the list class. We have to store this in a variable. So I'll just call this var, and I'll set that equal to this. So var, it stores the result of this, and that's a boolean. And if you hover, VS Code tells us that it's a boolean. Alright, so now we can do if var print true. And we don't have to do if var equals true, because if statements evaluate the entire condition inside this to make sure it's true. So you don't really need that because if var holds true, it's gonna use the value that's stored in var, which in this case is true. So we can just do if var print true. And that basically equates to if true, print true. So now let's try running this. And our output is true. And also, you do not have to store the result of this inside the var variable. You can just get rid of this and you can put this itself inside the if statement. So if I copy that and I put it and I replace it with var over here. So now it's if is instance, nums, and lists. And like I said, Python is just going to evaluate this to get a boolean. So if it's true, it's going to run. If it's false, it's not. So let's run this. And when we run it, we get the exact same output, true. And these are just the small methods in Python that can be really useful in certain scenarios. Like you just saw, we can use these in if statements and other things. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.